Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
Emmanuel, I'm with Steve Jewin of MMA Mania.
Good afternoon.
How's it going, my man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Beautiful Monday here in Milwaukee. Nice little wind. Still got my Bellator and my hoodie on, but, you know, it's a really sunny day, so it's warm with a little wind, so that's good.
How the weather is. Whoa! I guess there is some wind. Totally
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you can find a spot out of the wind, I may not be able to hear you otherwise.
No problem. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's good. So you have more to worry about than what the weather forecast is, because you got a big fight coming up with Henry Corrales. So how are the preparations going?
It's going real good. It's going real good, you know. It's, how do I say, you know, same patients, just different treatment. So I'm just working my way up to go and do what I do best, and that's finish fights.
I know you were trying to do that when you fought Patty Mike, when you fought Pat Curran, but you landed some good shots on him. You busted up his face a little bit, but things didn't quite work out for you that night. So, what's going to be different in this next fight?
I believe with Pat, it was, you know, it was really difficult because we had just been training together. And I took that fight on short notice, you know. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how that works out, man. I've known Pat, you know, for a long time. I've seen him I've seen him fight since, you know, before I even had my first amateur fight. So, and we're both from the Midwest as well. You know, he trains not too far away from here in Milwaukee. And, it's just crazy how it all worked out. And, you know, I do believe that I can defeat him. It just wasn't my night. I didn't use enough tools, and I was only trying to defeat him one way. So, you know, he was able to walk away with the judge's decision because of that.
Right, and you did take it on short notice, as you noted. You replaced Goichi Yamauchi, but like I said, I think you still did admirably well for short notice because he was wearing the fight afterwards. I mean, he won, but he didn't escape unscathed.
Yep, that's for sure.
And I know you've got motivation beyond just that because, I mean, short notice fight, you can be forgiven for a win or a loss either way. You're facing somebody who's also coming off a loss, so it's got to add a little extra pressure when both you and Corrales are trying to get on track.
Absolutely, you know. I think he's going to bring it too. It's good, you know, but I mean, I bring it too. So it's like you got not only two guys obviously coming off a loss, but in my situation, I feel like it was win-win for me, you know, just taking that fight. So I think he's more hungry for trying to make a statement in Bellator when, you know, I've made my mark. I've proved I'm a contender of one, but now I'm just going to prove why I'm better than this guy.
3 fights total so far in Bellator and got wins in the first 2. So, like you said, no shame in your game. You've already established that. And I mean, it's an interesting coincidence in the fact that in both of your last fights, you fought former featherweight champions. You know, you fought Daniel Strauss, you fought Pat Curran. So it feels like the trajectories for the two of you were going to collide anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how that works out, right? But
absolutely. So, what's a typical day of preparation like?
You know, train all around. I'm a martial artist, you know, so I'm always training. I'm always trying to get better. Even after that Pat fight, you know, I was in the gym the week after, and I obviously gave myself some time to recollect, work and get it better. But you know, my coaches were happy with me. You know, it sucks. You know, it's not like they were angry, but you know, taking a fight on short notice against a guy who's the former champion, who's got more fights in Bellator than I have professional fights. You know, there's no, you know, there's no real losing right there. It just, it only made me hungrier, better. I know I'm better, but, now I just gotta, you know, stay on track, and I'm just ready to rock and roll next week.
Well, speaking of your trainers, what do the guys at Rufus Sports see that they think you can improve on the most? What are they giving you big tips on?
Using more tools. You know, obviously always refining my striking, my wrestling, my jiu-jitsu. You know, each and every coach, you know, I've been working personally with all together, making my all-around MMA game, you know, solid. You know, more solid than I believe it already is, trying to beat the complete fighter. But, using that come fight time as well. I feel like with that, you know, I only used one way in one direction to try to defeat him, which made it a little easier to read, and that's why I believe he walked away with the judge's decision. You know, but it's all right. It just I gotta apply that come fight time.
So with this next fight, then, would you say we'll see more takedowns?
I believe, yeah. You know, the whole MMA game as well. You know, anyone can stand and bang. You know, amateurs stand and bang. You know, the craziest fights, you know, come out and stand and bang. But that's flipping, you know, a two-headed coin. It could go either way when it comes down to it. I want to have a long, great career, not take punishment, and not only obviously beat, my opponent physically each and every way, but beat him mentally. And that's what makes him, just crumble. And I love doing both as well. There's a chess game.
Let me flip it in a different direction. What do you think is the holes in Henry Corrales' game that you can exploit?
He hasn't shown much, right? I mean, riding off 12 victories, working his way up. But the biggest thing is, obviously, he wasn't ready for a big fight like that, in his debut on the main card, nonetheless, the former champion. But he says he brings the pace, and he looks winded to me. So I bring the pace too. So when it looks and the sounds of it, on paper, it's going to come down to a battle of wills, and he's going to be broken. And I've never been broken, and he has.
Well, it took a little while to break him, though. I sat there live for that fight, and one thing I noticed sitting ringside was, man, this guy has a chin, because Strauss was just creaming him over and over again, and it took him 2 rounds before that chin finally crumbled. So that was the thing that I noticed the most, was like, well, he may not be winning this fight, but this dude is tough.
Yep, that's for sure.
But you roll with a bunch of tough guys at Rufusmore. I mean, you're known for putting hands on chins in that camp.
Absolutely.
I always like to say this when I interview guys on a team, like, who's the one guy right now in camp that we haven't heard about yet, but somebody that we should be looking out for that's on the rise, like you are, of course.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, we're all part of the Team Pettis here. We're not riding on anyone's wave. We're all working to make our own wave here, but obviously they're our poster boys, the Pettis brothers. I'm an adopted Pettis. I'm the middle child here, the odd one out, because I'm younger than Anthony, but older than Sergio. But, obviously we got guys making waves, in different organizations, different divisions, weight divisions, But we just recently had, 3 new guys signed to other, regional promotions, but that are still on live on other networks on national television. So it's great, man. It's great for each and every fighter. Both, from flyweight to, I think, the heaviest guy we got at the middleweight. But one guy who hasn't had a big fight at all, who I think he's the last of the Mohicans, man. He's the last undefeated guy on our team. He's the only undefeated guy. His name is Craig Eckelberg, and he just won this past Saturday by TKO. The first kick this wrestler ever threw in a fight, and he knocked somebody out with it.
Nice. That's impressive. That's a way.
Yeah, so
so
the very first kick he's ever thrown in a fight, and he knocked someone out with it. So, nonetheless, in less than 30 seconds. So, yeah, that's what makes it more impressive.
All right, well, that's definitely a guy to look out for then. Let me ask you a more personal question. Where does the nickname El Matador come from?
Well, I feel like it's always kind of been my fighting style. You never wanted to take punishment, dance, and, tame the bull and cut the bull's throat. But that actually came from, my head trainer, Dick Rufus, and gave me the nickname, because we pride ourselves on a lot of people not like to watch him fight, but, Floyd Mayweather is the great fighter that he is because he doesn't take punishment. He didn't get in the sport to take punishment and to be abused come fight time. So I feel like, the whole team here, we build ourselves out and have a great defense because not only is it great to have a great offense, but if you can make someone miss and pay for their mistakes, that makes you, I feel like an even better fighter than someone who can just stand there and take punches and not go down.
If you're going to copy one guy to make that a success, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a good guy to copy because he didn't get to 49-0 by getting knocked around a bunch. Like you said, he avoids every shot.
Absolutely. That's, love him or hate him, but that's, he does live up to what he's saying. That's the sweet science of boxing, to hit and not get hit. So I pride myself on not getting hit. Inevitably it's a fight, so it's going to happen. We don't want it to, and that's not all I'm in the fight, in the ring thinking about, don't hit me. But, best defense is a good offense, so I have a strong offense and an even better defense to continue being able to go forward.
Your record bears that out too. You've never been knocked out, so, or at least maybe you were in amateurs. I don't know. I don't have your amateur record, but as a pro, I don't see a single knockout on your record.
Nope, I was 9-1 as an amateur, and I've only lost to decisions. Basically, I've only lost to judges.
Well, then you're not going to let it go to the judges come on the September 25th fight, are you?
No. As we say here in Milwaukee as well, we don't get paid for overtime. I get I get paid to show up, and I get paid to win. Let's finish the fight. And, you know, prior to Pat Curran and then, you know, my last fight, I'm even writing on the fight before that in March, you know, against Alejandro Villalobos. Like, that should have been the first round finish. You know, when I watch it, I'm just like, you know, this is my coulda, shoulda, woulda, my hindsight, but it's just part of living, growing, learning, and obviously knowing too that every opponent is tough. So it's difficult for people. So I had 4 in a row, you know, my way to 5 before, you know, these fights happened. I'm looking to pick that right back up where I started, you know, on my first round streak, finishing fighters. So that's what I do best.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing whether or not that happens at Bellator 143 in Hidalgo, Texas. It'll be on the main card of Spike TV, and it promises to be a very exciting fight with Henry Corrales. But before I let you go, Emmanuel, I want to know if you have any sponsors you want to thank, any plugs you want to throw out, social media links so more people can follow you. Just go ahead and name anything you want.
Oh, yeah, please and thank you. Well, more than anything, I am a Twitter guy, but you know, I'm not on Twitter as much as I am the other ones. But you can go ahead and just add me on Facebook, Emmanuel Sanchez. And then I got my Facebook fan page as well, Emmanuel Matador Sanchez. I'm more on Instagram, you know, I'm all Instagram and Facebook, but my Instagram handle is at Matador Sanchez. I'd like to thank Honor, it's a great company, Bellator MMA for the opportunity, you know, and you know, all the staff at Bellator for all they do for the fighters. You know, we're able to achieve and live our dreams here. Iowa Bison, the best meat around, who supplies with meat for my training. You know, the Matador loves his bull, right? So I get to eat that to become strong. And it's great. Get lean, viable bison. Our gym is sponsored by Reebok and Reebok One, so I'm going to give a shout out to Reebok. And, Combat Corner for supplying my training, and Wisconsin Athletic Club.
All right. Well, that's a good group of sponsors, and I especially endorse the bison one because I tailgated this weekend and we were discussing grilling bison at tailgate.
Oh man, I love my wild games. You gotta love the Midwest, man. Bison, deer, elk, raccoon, whatever you name it. No,
oh yeah, the guys.
Rabbit, all good, healthy, lean.
Right, the guys behind us were grilling venison and walleye, so I was getting the smell from theirs, and I was like, damn, all we got is chicken. Now I want to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, right. The best, leanest meat you can get, my man.
Absolutely. Well, I'll be getting some for my next tailgate, but in the meantime, I'm looking forward to your fight on September 25th. So, Emmanuel, thank you again for the time today.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
You too.